The degree is all about the synthesis between marketing and psychology. Those have a very natural link to the extent where my own undergraduate degree was in psychology and then my PhD was in marketing. This degree was a very long time coming in its development. And the core idea is to understand fundamental business principles of marketing with an expert critical lens coming from psychology and understanding the psychological science that goes into consumer behavior and how people react in the marketplace. So this degree is well suited for anyone who's curious about what makes a mind tick and wants to apply that understanding in business and especially in marketing contexts. So this two puzzle piece kind of aspect to it was designed with, we got the next slide up, was designed to provide you guys with a 3-year degree. So unlike many of the degrees in this space that try and combine marketing and psychology, you'll see those as a dual degree. The Bachelor of Marketing Psychology is a 3-year degree that combines a marketing major and a psychology major entirely. I'm going to move on and talk to you a little bit more about the structure of the degree now. So the degree itself, and the next couple slides will also explore this in a bit more depth, but the degree has been highly tailored. Like I said, there is a marketing major and a psychology major combined into this degree. So that does mean that the structure and all the units you take are selected. There's not really much room for electives, but what we do have is work integrated learning opportunities and a capstone. It's presented here in complete form for you. So what you see in bold on this slide is all of the marketing units that you'll take. So we've got right here a little bit about our work integrated learning opportunities. I'm going to take a couple minutes because there's always a lot of questions around what these placements look like to provide you with some information. So all of our students in their second year of the Bachelor of Marketing Psych will do some form of work integrated learning placement or opportunity. Like I said, Professional Insights is designed to help prep students for that so they're not just thrown out into the world and said, find an internship. But there are several opportunities for this. So they're listed here. You can also find this information on the website in terms of work integrated learning from the School of Business. But just for your information, we have cultural engagement. So there's lots of opportunities for volunteer experience. There's a consultancy experience. There is business internships, and some of the differences between some of these experiences. So cultural engagement tends to be volunteering. It can be globally or here in Australia. Consultancy, we do have things, and you see some of them listed here on this slide, different hubs, different opportunities, and sometimes we have companies come to us and we have groups of students work on a problem for them, whereas internships are often self-sourced placements that you see students going out and working for 3 months or 6 months at a company. These placements can be self-sourced. If a student already has a job, they can take on an extra role within their current organization related to the degree, write a paper about it, or they can be sourced through Deakin, and we have a lot of support for students.
So the joining of these two disciplines is really, we see as being, kind of overdue and a really important innovation in the higher education space. A lot of the inspiration with getting this degree going was seeing that, employers in the HR space are increasingly looking for graduates with a skill set to apply the behavioural insights and data-driven science of psychology to the business problems faced in HR. It's really about balancing those two. We've found, in particular in the past as well, students within the typical HR sequence really expressing a desire and interest to combine their studies with psychology, having seen the value in pairing those two. And so we're launching this degree to really address those interests and those needs as well. So this is really for those prospective students who have clearly identified interests in HR and psychology, and in particular who want a clear structure through the degree and pathway to relevant jobs of future study if they so desire. So you'll be linking two very specific and complementary skill sets, basically, that real HR mindset of identifying, analysing, practically solving business problems with the scientific behavioural insights from psychology. As with Virginia, the course is highly unique in being a single degree offering only. So it's not a double degree, it's a single degree, which is a big positive, because what this means is that students can complete it within 3 years rather than the 4 years that they would, you would normally need to take with a similar offering at a different university. And combined with the work integrated learning component that Virginia spoke about, this means that you're really exiting the degree and entering the job market quicker, and also with this practical business experience to get ahead of competitors. And that obviously includes a lot of these additional accreditations, which are highly desirable now for employers. To the course structure. Very, very simple, clear pathway that we're proposing for the students. 12 to 13 psychology units, 10 to 11 HR management units, and then 1 work integrated learning unit. Run through the psychologist pathway. So this is this also applies to the Virginia's degree as well. Both degrees fulfil this first step, which is a 3-year accredited undergraduate sequence. So both the degrees today fulfil this step, and then after that you basically have to look at either, you have to complete an accredited 4th year of study. So for a lot of students that's honours, which can be done through the psychology school at Deakin or any other psychology school, but of course Deakin as well, or alternatively complete a graduate diploma. So those are 2 equally legitimate ways of fulfilling this next step, which is that accredited 4th year stage. After that, you basically pick between two pathways. So to gain the title of psychologist, you have to complete your 4th year and then either enroll in a master's or doctorate, and the master's is typically a 2-year course, which Deakin also offers multiple different options with that. I think there's the clinical psychology, organisational psychology, and maybe might be 1 or 2 others, and that's very common across most universities. And the second option is what's called a 5+1, which is basically you do a 1-year master's after this 4th year, so a 1 bringing you up to 5 basically. And then +1, a 1-year internship after that. So those are the 2 alternative pathways, and then you can register as a psychologist with the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency, and in essence call yourself a psychologist at that point. If you're interested in gaining a specialist psychologist title, so for a lot of people that would be maybe clinical psychology or organisational psychology or sports psychology. So if you want to call yourself a clinical psychologist or an organisational psychologist, that's then another pathway that you do, which is basically supervised hours in whatever job or role you have at that point. So you do that concurrent with work.